Photoshop in 2020 released an update of 2021 of some new features they were going to add into the software for this year and beyond, and a lot of it raised a lot of eyebrows. I think that was actually one of the things you could probably do in the new software, raise eyebrow. You could change the face, you could change the angle of someone's face. I don't really know why. A lot of it I think is aimed at the younger demographic, probably for social media and online content creators. That's probably their play. That's probably what they were thinking. One of the things they did include with the software update and the new features is something called a sky replacement feature. Now, in the landscape photography community, yes, it's been absolutely lambasted because everyone's saying, well, it's cheating, it's not real, you went out there, you ballsed up the sky, you've come home and you've just stuck a new sunset in there. There's not really a lot of artistic integrity in that, is there? And I'd probably be inclined to agree. However, with what I'm going to talk about today, it's actually really useful. When you shoot property, very often you rock up at a place, well, not very often, because obviously I normally check my shoots according to the weather, but sometimes you shoot a property and the sun goes behind a cloud, or you've got really difficult light to shoot in, it's overcast, or there might be a number of factors why you're shooting a house and the weather and the sky isn't blue. And for most estate agents, that's one essential thing that they will require from you is the photograph of a house with a blue sky, because automatically it sells sunnier, happier times. It sells summer almost. So I'm going to show you 3 raw files, very different ones, and I'm going to show you what this sky replacement looks like. So the first one was, again, it's not the most glamorous shot in the world. The reason I shot this the way I did, I think, was to show a lot of the driveway off, because it's a big old driveway. It's almost the same plot as the house as a drive. So, the one downside is that we got a bit of next door in there, but I don't think that's a massive big deal. And these are raw files that I'm looking back on, so I might not have even chosen this one to give to the estate agent, but what I wanted to show you is the sky replacement. So let's go up to the top, let's go down to edit, and let's go all the way down, just over halfway to sky replacement. Now, it brings us up this little tab of, look at that, and it sticks it in straight away. So I'll just toggle through some of the options. So we can have a nice graduated dark to light blue. We've got some wispy clouds up there as well. We've got these, what I call Simpsons clouds, just because it reminds me of the da 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 da. Reminds me of the opening series of The Simpsons. Again, very similar Simpsons clouds here. They're a lot more softly focused. They always look out of focus, actually, those ones, so they're quite nice. A darker bluer sky here, more polarised look. Again, a very polarised look here. It's more of a, I don't know, what would you call that? Like a, is that cirrus clouds maybe? I don't know what, they're really high altitude clouds. See them a lot in summer, don't we? And then here's the wispy, no, they're cirrus clouds, aren't they? I don't know. Anyone who's got an A-level in geography, let me know. But so for the purpose of this, I'm going to choose this one or this one, I think, just because I think I quite like this one because it doesn't really detract. It doesn't look unnatural, and it's crazy that these raw files, or whatever files they are inbuilt into this software. Absolutely blows my mind. And it doesn't look pixelated if I zoom in as well. Like, it doesn't look too noisy. Like the raw file I've just put in looks quite good, and we can actually play about with this, so we can actually fade the edge. So if you look towards the roof of the house, we can put a little bit more, looks like haze and humidity in there. We'll take it all the way out, so I'll probably leave a lot in there. Brightness, so we can make it really bright or really dark. If I probably was going to send this to an agent, I'd go on the brighter side. Temperature, I'll probably leave it as it is, but obviously you can make that a lot darker, a lot bluer or a lot more summery. And the scale, so this will if you want to zoom in on a particular cloud, then you can use the scale to do that. My Photoshop's just being a bit unresponsive. Here we go. So there we go. So let's just get that scale back up to where it was. And that gives you an idea of what I'll be doing. So I think I actually will be using this feature quite a bit now in the future. Now moving on to this next one. Today, on this day, was a really overcast day. But because of the vendor's availability, it's not straight either. Yeah, just ignore the fact that it's not straight. It is a raw file, and it's guesswork when I've got the camera in the air. I think this was the only day I could do this photograph. So we did it on an overcast day. I knew that I would be either having to come back or having to put a sky in. So obviously, put a sky in is a lot less hassle. It's a lot more cost effective. So let's see what sort of sky we can put into this one without looking at making it look rubbish. So yeah, I don't know if I like this graduated blue. It's a very summery sky. So yeah, that's kind of cool. That's quite nice. One thing to bear in mind as well, if I sort of zoom into any trees, Photoshop's done a great job of cutting out the trees, by the way. I always would recommend go for a textured sky if you're going to drop a sky in with clouds, because if I put the top one in, just the blue sky, look how it just looks unrealistic. It gives away that it's a photoshopped in sky. But if there's texture and detail behind those clouds, you know, it looks a lot more natural. So sometimes most of the time a plain blue sky doesn't really work for property photography, and that's photoshopped in, or whether you shot that on the day. So yeah, I quite like this one. Again, it's one of my Simpsons selections, but why don't we play about with the temperature? Why don't we make it a bit cooler? See if we can make that sky a bit bluer. And let's try the brightness. Let's get the brightness up, because it was an overcast day, so that might make it look all a bit brighter. Yeah, that looks all right to me. That looks fine. I think an estate agent would see that and not feel like that couldn't sell the property. So yeah, that seems to work. That seems to work nicely. And the third one. So then, what happens then if you're shooting a south-facing house with a south-facing garden, which means the sun will be right above you in your eye line? So I shot this. I think this was a morning shot. This is somewhere in Malvern. And yeah, let's just see what happens. So we've got no actual sun in this raw file. It's just very overexposed. So maybe a plain blue sky might look all right, but we have got some Scots pines at the back, which might clip against the blue sky. But let's have a quick look. Let's see how it all looks. One thing I do like about this sky replacement is it adds an adjustment layer to your foreground, so you can. So it changes the colour, the white balance of the actual of the photograph. So it's really quite an impressive tool. I'm really, really quite impressed. That's all right. I quite like that, because this was taken in the middle of summer, and to me that's a very summery sky. We've got a detailed sort of double click on that to select it. A nice detailed sky. So let's shift the edge. So let's see if we can get rid of the ghosting on that. See, okay, right. Look at the gables, or whatever these are called. Look at the apex of the roof when I get rid of the shift edge. So that's hardly any opacity. Then put it on 100%. And look at that. It just feathers right over the edge. So yeah, that's probably not the best thing to do. So yeah, I'd err on the side of caution on that one. When you've got a white edged roof, which the majority of houses do in this country, yeah, you're going to see a bit of sky. Yeah, I quite like that. That looks kind of cool. In fact, I've probably gone a bit less on that. Let's try another sky. So let's go back up to sky replacement, and let's try. What should we try now? Yeah, well, let's try something. No, let's try a completely different sky. Let's go with one of these more polarized looks. Yeah, I mean, to me that looks really, really super and over enhanced. Don't like the look of that. I don't think I like this. No, I don't like that. So for me, it's between these four selections of clouds, which I think it's not even that one. That looks a bit rubbish, doesn't it? It's a bit too dark. Let's see what happens if we select it and take the brightness up. Can we make it look a bit more natural? I mean, that's brightness nearly 100, and that's looking better. And then let's take the white balance of the temperature up to the right to warm that up. So it was a really hot day. See, it's all about tweaking your tweaking these skies. Okay, so that's made me feel a lot more confident, because this is literally the first time me having a go using these. I need a bit of WD-40 on my chair, by the way. Can you hear that? It's a little bit creaky, so sorry if you can hear the creaks. I'm quite impressed with this. I'm really super impressed on how well the sky has been cut out, the original sky, and the new one put in. Because doing this with a colour selection, usually I do it with a press select, then down to colour range, and then have to literally pencil it in myself with the marching ants. It's kind of tedious and quite difficult, so I'm really glad this tool has come along, and this will really speed up my workflow. And I'm looking forward to actually working with these guys to see, just to get a bit of feedback from my estate agents, see what they think. So anyway, thanks for watching this video. It's day 3 of my daily vlogs. So this is day 3 complete. If you have just watched me for the first time, I'd massively appreciate a subscribe, or a sub, as they're calling it these days. Give me a like, because that's like YouTube currency. And apparently with the more likes, the more people will see your video. So, well, I suppose win-win. You get to like a video, I get to be seen by more people. Don't know if that's a fair trade. But thanks for watching this video. I'll see you on the next one, whatever that may be about. Stay safe, take it easy. See you tomorrow.
Since I've seen the sun could be bright again.